Hello, digital storytelling. I am going to go through some steps for how to create a layout for your transmedia digital story on WordPress. If you're familiar with another format or platform you're certainly welcome to use that. You will see on the semester-long investigative project page, linked over here, that I have added a section for creating the final page. There are 5 steps, and this tutorial that I'm making will go right here. So the first step is to create a new subdomain specifically for your story. To then create a new page for your story and name it something meaningful. Set the theme so that the static home page is the new page that you've created. Find and install a responsive single page theme, and I strongly suggest one called Himalayas, which is nice and clean. And install a responsive image slider, and I recommend the huge IT slider, which is huge and very easy to use. So I have gone ahead and already created a new subdomain for my Transmedia digital story, and the subdomain is that, transmediastory.billwolf.com, and yours would be whatever it is that is meaningful for you. If you do not recall how to create a subdomain, please see the blogging assignment, and there is that tutorial there for creating your subdomain. Okay. So in order to create, so once you log into your dashboard, the first thing that it asks you to do is to create a new page for your story and name it something meaningful. So I'm going to go to Pages. Note this is not Post, Pages, Add New. And I'm going to call it My Awesome Digital Transmedia Digital Story. Catchy title, huh? Whatever, it's late at night. Then I'm going to go to the Lorem Ipsum page. Lorem Ipsum, for those of you who don't know, is some Latin text that web designers use when they want to create some placeholder text. And I'm going to get 800 words of that because that's how much we need. And then I will merely copy it and paste it in. And boom, very exciting. And then I will save it and publish it. Very cool. And then I can go and I can view my page. And I can see that that is right there. In the settings, in the general area, I want to make sure, I always get this confused, is it writing or reading? I want to make sure there's a static page in the reading section, and the front page will be my awesome Transmedia digital story, and then I can save those changes. Okay. So now I have this here like that. Okay, that's how it looks. And then I set the theme so the static home page is a new page. Great. Find and install a responsive single page theme. Using WordPress, use the free Himalayas theme. And the Himalayas theme is very nice. It's a single page scrolling theme. And you can download this to your computer and then install it on in the themes area. The instructions also ask you to download and install the huge IT slider, which you can download from the website. Now, I've gone ahead already and done this, and you can see that I've got the Himalayas and the slider in a folder that I call Themes and Plugins. And this is in my class one because it's related to that. So if I want to go ahead and install, go to Appearance, Themes, and if I want to add a new one, I'll click on Upload Theme, Browse, have to go all the way through here. And I will choose my theme. Why does it not allow me to choose a theme? There we go. Strange. Install new. And then I will activate it. And now my theme is there. And if I refresh this, it should look a little bit different. Okay? It looks just like that. And I also want to install a new plugin. Add new. Load the plugin. I'm going to install the slider plugin. Activate the plugin. And you will now see the huge IT slider is right here, and I can do various options, which I'll look at in a second. Okay, so for the themes, so now we have, this is how things are looking. Now we want our story, we don't want there to be sidebars or anything like that. So we want to set this up so that it looks a little bit different. I'm going to go to Customize, and we can see there's a variety of different things. A static home page, got that set. The site identity, this is the title that you're going to create for it. Menus, we can worry about that later on. Himalaya's design options, default layout, and we want this to be the default layout right here, because this will give us one without widgets, I hope. Nope. So that is the default layout that we do want, however. So what we need to do is we need to go under widgets, and in the right sidebar we want to delete everything. These are just random widgets that are there when the theme is created, and we want to say goodbye to them. It's late and it's been a long day. And then we want to go to our page, all pages. We want to edit this page, and we want to make sure that the no sidebar full width is selected under select layout, and we can update that. Okay. Refresh, and now we have a single page that it's very clean. Okay, we can go in and edit all the fonts and the font faces and everything. So this is how the page looks so far. Now, if we want to add a slider, and this is for the objects, the evocative objects portion, we can go to the huge IT slider. I like to open things in new tabs. Put them back over here. My first slider, you can click on that, and you will see that there are 3 images already there. And I like to grab a little bit of text as a test for what the captions will look like. And I can just say, nice tree, and I can put a caption in there. Sky and hay bale, put a caption in there, and say, ooh, water. And put a slider in there, caption there, and that's exciting. Now the width, I would recommend a width of 2000, and what was that? It should tell me. I think 1328 is a good aspect ratio for that. But what you can do is you can go into Photoshop, open up the images that you're going to include, and get an aspect ratio that's related to it. The effects are essentially how the transitions. And so I could select fade, you could do random, and so on. And then you can select a variety of these other things. Pausing on hover, video autoplay if we have a video slider. You can add videos to your sliders actually here, which is very nice, and so on. If you wanted to add a new image, you call it New Image Slide, and you select your files. And let's say I just want to grab some random picture from, here's a nice photo of a rainbow, double rainbow cropped. I can open that up. Come on. You can do it. Not sure why this is taking so long. Oops, it was there. Okay, insert and post. Don't want the full size. Now I'll just do. It's going to be right there anyway. So rainbow over setback lake. On Ipsum, I can put a URL in there if I want to. Open a new tab if I want to do that too. And so we have these. I can save the slider now. All these different options. And what I do here is you'll see the shortcode. And I copy the shortcode and I can paste that into any WordPress page. It can be into this story, it could be a blog post, like for your rush draft, I'm asking you to put it into a blog post. But I can find a place, let's say quippy subheader. And I want the slider here, pop that in there. I can update the page, and then I can view it, and we will see the slider right here. And then I can go through and see. And you can play around with it to get the transitions that you like and however you want it to be. We don't want the transitions to be too distracting, though. That's an important part. It's important to go through and take a look. When I copied the lorem ipsum, I forgot to remove these extra code that it grabs. Okay, so that's updated. So that's pretty easy right there to do that. And you can make as many sliders as you want, and you can put them in there as many as you want to. What's nice about this is that if I want to go and edit the slider size, say I want to be 500 by 332, I can put the slider position as right. I can save it. And then I can go back to the page, and it will automatically place it there. And what's nice is it wraps the text around it. There's nothing that you really need to do to change that. And then the slider will sort of advance on its own. As you can see, when it's smaller, you really can't. The caption becomes much too large. So we want to try to keep the image a little bit bigger. But that's really it. You would embed the SoundCloud audio in just as you would normally embed it anywhere else, and you would also embed a YouTube video for your video portion, just as you would embed it on any other page. But you can see that it's a nice, clean layout, and you have the ability to just scroll right through there. One other thing that you might want to be thinking about is editing your CSS files so that you can adjust the font faces and the sizes and so on. I'm not sure if you're familiar with CSS, but what you want to do here in this CSS page is scroll down quite a bit, and you want to get to one that reads comments, infinite scroll, that's not it. General gallery layout, no. Responsive grid, no. Common CSS. You want to come to this section for common CSS. Okay, and here's where you can change your font family. Let's say I want Palatino, and let's say serif, and I want the line height. I always like to put the new one, as those of you know, the lower it goes down, so the bottom one would be what is taken. So I have font family here, and I keep the original in case I want to go back. I can also add an H3 because I did add that H3 before. And let's just say I want like Gil Sans, and then sans serif font there, and we'll just leave that be. Now I can update this file, go back to the page, and there it has changed. Okay, now this font is sort of too small, and this is an H2 file, so I want to change that a little bit also. So I would want to, let's say I want those both to be Gil Sans. I could change that. I want font size. Let's say 1.5. And you could do more advanced stuff here also. So there it's much bigger, much nicer. And let's say I say, oh, that's very interesting, but now I think that the image style, the slideshow should be somewhere else. I can go back to the page and I can cut this and add it elsewhere. I can also, if I want to, create a new slider. Over here, I can create a new one just by clicking this. Create a new slider, add an image slide, and you'll see that now the ID is number 2. And I can go and add that also. Okay, so this is a very nice theme to work with, a very easy theme to work with. The places for editing are pretty readily apparent, and it creates a very crisp, clean layout, which you'll be able to do lots of things for. We'll talk about some advanced editing type things perhaps in class, but otherwise, if you have questions, please let me know. See ya.